Lazy Sunday
Conversations. This is the signature pose.
Anyway, moving on. So we hope you've been enjoying our little show so far. We're glad you joined us. We are hanging out here just chilling and relaxing. It's storming outside. Like, do storms make you nervous?
A little bit and a little bit not. If the winds are blowing real hard, I just be like, oh no. You know,
it's a tornado coming.
It's a tornado, girl. It's a tornado, girl.
I don't know. It depends. It's like, if it ain't too bad, I can stand a little rumble in the rain, but I don't like it too stormy. I'm like, we gonna get blown away because this area,
we done got blown away before.
We have, like, at least a good 3 times in the past few years.
Yes. And we have held on by our chinny chins.
Yes, so we on a struggle bus. So we're here today, and we got our kitty dupe look going on because we wanted to talk about letting your inner child out. You know, I saw a post today from one of our favorite stores, the Village Retail Market.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
And they were talking about letting your inner child out and how people for the summer are learning things that they didn't get the chance to do while they were kids. So it was this woman learning how to swim. I thought you would like that because she's learning how to swim. And so... it was just like, people, now that they're adults, they're taking control and like just doing stuff that they didn't get a chance to do as kids, which I feel like for us being 30 something, a lot of us realize, oh, I got the power now. A lot of us like toys. You see, I still got my teddy bears. A lot of us love cartoons, but the reason is because maybe our parents didn't have time, they were busy, we didn't get the chance to do those things growing up. So now we're like, I can do it myself. I'm finna go buy me an action figure or a Barbie doll or a Ninja Turtle and just live life. So that's what we want to talk about, letting out our inner child.
That's cool because so for everybody, I just learned how to swim. Well, it was before COVID. Oh, I started before COVID. So, 4 years ago?
Yeah, you kind of dabbled, got the hang of it.
Yeah, like 4 years ago. And to be very honest, I just recently got very comfortable with it last year. And I haven't been in the pool since last year, summertime. So, when I get back in the pool this year, summertime, Auntie Dot, we coming for your
We
pool.
coming. It's hot enough. We ready to get in there. It's hot out already.
It's coming. We coming. But when I get in the pool this time, I'm sure I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, let me get myself back together. But I did not learn how to swim as a kid because my mom was afraid of water or is afraid of water. And so that's why she didn't ever take us to learn how to swim. She just was scared of water, and it was just something that she just was thought, no, you're not gonna learn how to swim.
Yeah. I think sometimes we miss out on stuff like that because of that. Because my dad, he's an orthopedic technician, and I remember he told me they had actually bought me a pair of roller blades, right? But he read the warning on the back of the box, and they took them back. And I was like, I could have known how to skate.
Well, he probably should not have bought you the trampoline because you still broke your arm.
I still broke my arm. I broke my arm. What grade I was in? First?
I don't know. We was little. I
broke my arm on the trampoline. And
it was bad influence because after that, I had a trampoline at my house as well. And so after that, I was seeing it just falling on my arm. Just like, trying to fall on my arm, trying to break my arm. I had good bones. Apparently she did not. Because I'm talking about, I didn't even sprain my nothing.
I got double bounce. I was jumping with mama. And you know how you'll get double bounce and just jump in the air. Like you fly up there. That's what happened. And my daddy, although he fixed on everybody else's bones, he couldn't fix on mine. We had to go to the emergency. And I had a cast, and Shonda, I guess, wanted the attention of the cast.
I did, because I got to sign her cast. Nobody signed nothing on my little arm. So I was like, So I'm talking about, y'all should sub me, honey. I'm talking about hours. I was out there for a long time, just. And then when I was on the bouncing part, the rubber part, it didn't work. So I said, okay, I'm finna land on. I was a little scared to land on the metal part, but I was like, I'm finna just try it. And I just tried to land, honey.
Nothing
broke.
Strong.
Nothing broke. So it wasn't. It's fine. It's fine. You know.
You didn't need to break nothing. That's not good, Shauna.
Yeah, because who would have? Honey, my own part would have been the form to this day.
You could wind up with arthritis.
Which arm was it again?
It was my left. I used to could write with both hands, and now I only can write with one.
Oh no! It took your magic away.
It did take my magic away.
Oh, hold your arm out and see that both straight.
Well, both of them cricket, anyways.
Oh God. Let me see.
Let's see. What are you doing? You don't know. Get away.
I'm just trying to see if it's does it hurt sometimes? Like okay, it's rain outside. Does it get like arthritic?
Not my arm, my shoulder do. But you know what's funny? No, here's what's funny. It's because, and it was a trampoline accident. And my mom, she swears to this day, it's because of that trampoline accident. I was at my grandparents' house. My grandparents had got a trampoline for all the grandkids, and it was kind of in the backyard. So it was like a family gathering. I don't know if it was like a family reunion. It's a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. So just a regular family get together, it looked like a family reunion. So it was everybody together, and one of my cousins was on the trampoline, and everybody kept saying, we look alike, we look alike, we look alike. It wasn't like one of my usual cousins. It was someone who I just kind of had met. Mm-hmm. But everybody was like, oh, y'all look so much alike, y'all look so much alike. She didn't like that. So we were bouncing on the trampoline together. Homegirl got up there and shoved me off with all her little might.
Oh,
and I fell out.
No.
Ooh. On this shoulder, and mama swear to this day, this why this shoulder give me a fit, because it's weaker than this arm.
You probably did something to it. You probably did something like getting it up and just didn't get it, think about it. When you around your grandparents, they just be like, oh, drink some ginger ale. Honey, they give you child. They be like, yeah, drink this, honey. You see them drinking this stuff, and this stuff just be hurting.
Just sit on the couch, drink some ginger ale,
and go to bed, honey. Yeah. Go to sleep. After you go to sleep, you gonna feel better.
Get some cod liver oil, and you'll be it. So, back to this. I mean, this is childhood stuff we're talking about, but what else do you feel is important about inner child?
I mean, I know one thing that I said that I remember as a kid, my mama did, and I was like, I would never do this if I had kids. That one thing is some Trix. Have y'all ever had Trix cereals? Trix Trix cereal.
Oh, I remember that. I used to hate it.
My mom used to buy that for us all the time, and I swore that the minute I get a job, we would never eat that cereal again, because I will make sure we eat Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, all the good cereals. And I was going to buy no sugar to put in my Rice Krispies, because my mom was like, a half a teaspoon, that's it. And I was like, we just eating wheats. It's no taste to it.
It's rice.
Rice. Honey, we was eating fried rice, basically. And so I said, when I get old enough, I'm going to make sure I be able to buy sugar so I can put in my Rice Krispies, and can buy the good cereal, not the nasty Trix cereal. Them things were nasty.
Oh, I hate it.
And I told my mom, I said, if I ever had kids, I would never make my kids eat Trix cereals. I don't have children, but honey, when my little niece and nephew come over, they have never ate Trix cereal. And they won't.
I used to hate Trix. Trix was like the word. It got super soggy, super fast in your cereal, and then it tasted like you were sucking on a vitamin.
Yeah, and they say advertise it as less sugar. How is that advertising as a kid? How is that advertising?
That's why
I guess it's supposed to be advertising as a parent.
Right, it advertised to the parent. That's why your mom bought them. But Trix.
But I don't think me and my sister was those kids that had. When we had sugar, we was like, we was like those kids, so we could have had. I think we could have stood to have a little bit of sugar.
I used to love it, and then I realized, even as a kid, certain cereals would make me feel more snotty. But it
was the milk.
It probably was the milk.
It was the milk.
It probably was the milk. But I was like, it's like sugar on top of the milk, and then it turned into this syrupy mixture. Once you eat all the cereal, you gotta drink the milk. Yes. And I was just killing myself.
The best thing was them Captain Crunch. They told the roof of the peanut butter cap them crunch. They tore the roof out of your mouth, but it was good the whole time. And then you drank the milk, and it was like a peanut butter like. Okay. That was the best thing. The best thing.
Captain Crunch was my favorite. Oh my God! I remember one time, me and my cousin, we would always go and spend 2 weeks with my grandparents in Florida. And when we went down there, my grandma and grandpa, they just let us run. Y'all just do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, just. So we would stay up late, wouldn't sleep. One night we stayed up all night. We didn't even go to sleep. We was like, we gotta go to sleep the next day. So we were just in the kitchen, just eating stuff. So we had some of them, it was the Cookie Crisp cereal.
Oh, mm-hmm.
But instead of just eating that, it's already sugary enough. It's like chocolate chip cookies in a bowl.
Yeah.
So we was like, we gonna make it sweeter. So we got the sugar and just poured it in there and just was like,
that's ridiculous. Y'all should be all diabetics at this point.
It was just eating it, and while I was eating it, I was like, oh, this is so awful. But I was like, this is the best ever. But in my mind, I was like, this is horrible. But I was not gonna say it was horrible because we were having the time of our lives. But it was awful.
Ain't it funny how the time of your life as a kid is so drastically different. There's like your time as a adult. Like as a kid, if I could just go, and I didn't care about TV. I didn't care about going out to eat. I didn't care about that. Like I just wanted to just go outside and play.
Yeah,
I didn't even care about Burger King. I didn't care about none of that stuff. Honey, now the time of my life is if I go to a good restaurant and sit down. Hey, that food good. I'm having the time of my life at this
time of my life.
I am good.
Yes, I think that's part of letting out your inner child too. Because when you went as a kid, you couldn't just get whatever you want off the menu. Mm-hmm. It would be like, okay, we're gonna go to this restaurant. You've been out bed for that thing. We gonna get this, that, and the third. And it would be like, but I want this, but you can't ask for that. So now as an adult, I'm like, I'm gonna get this, this, and this.
That's a good thing about like you know how like when we all go out as our girlfriends, you know we always go out and we always get. I think we always have 2 appetizers on the table.
Yep.
We always somebody gonna get something, somebody else gonna get something else. There's always gonna be 2 appetizers. We never got appetizers when I was a kid.
None.
We always gonna have us a little adult beverage, and that's okay because you can't have it as a child, so that's fine. You can't. And that's our business as Auntie Tab was saying. Right, as Auntie Tab said. And we always get, of course, whatever we want to, and then get to eat off of it. You know, try a little bit off of everybody's plate. So that's good. And then we get dessert. How do we eat like hogs over here? We do. That
is the beauty. Mm-hmm. Like. I'm not a fan of this adulthood life, but if there's one perk to it, it's eating out at restaurants, eating food.
Did your mama ever let you get like at any point let you get either appetizer or dessert at a restaurant?
Maybe dessert every once in a blue moon, or if it wasn't at a restaurant, we went somewhere else to get it. Like we would go get ice cream or like Dairy Queen or something like that. Mm-hmm. But if we didn't get dessert at the restaurant, appetizers maybe every once in a blue moon. Mm-hmm. If it was something, you know, she wouldn't think I'd waste, like French fries or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll give my parents that. They wasn't like, no, you can't have a whole bunch. It was like sometimes it was like we're just getting this, that, and the third. But lots of times they were like, okay, you want this or you want a dessert, or we could go somewhere later. I know, like, we had a routine after the meetings. We would always, not always, but oftentimes, we would go and get ice cream. Mm-hmm. So we always got some type of treat here and there. So that's a nice memory.
That is. No, we never got desserts at a restaurant. My mom always made desserts though. Like she always had cake or bars or something like that at home because she always made desserts. Mm-hmm. But when we went to a restaurant, unless it was like a buffet, you know, they got ice cream like that. Unless it was there, then it's like it kind of came with the meal automatically. But we went to like a real sit down restaurant. No, we did not get a dessert. You ain't gonna ask for it because you ain't gonna get it.
You ain't gonna get it.
Don't even ask.
Now I have a question for you. Do sometimes as adults, do you think that they forget that they were children once upon a time?
Yes. I think parents forget that they are children. Actually, I had this this clip. I like to play it right quick. Of it's a TikTok that I heard.
What do you think is the biggest mistake
This is Oprah talking.
make in raising their children?
And this is Mr. Rogers.
Not
Mr. Rogers.
to remember their own childhood.
Yeah.
I think that the best thing that we can do is to think about what it was like for us and know what our children are going through.
But you know what? It's so hard once you get to be a parent. You always say, I will never do this. When your mother's doing it to you or your father's doing it to you, you say, I will never do this to my child. And then you get to our age and you forget what it was like to be this size. You really do forget.
But those children can help re-evoke what it was like. And that's why when you're a parent, you have a new chance to grow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so... Let me tell you something. I absolutely love me some Mr. Rogers. That little man just touched all my little soul. Like, as a kid,
I didn't too much care for Mr. Rogers. I thought he was boring.
no, as a kid and as an adult, I would just be like, he was just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he really cared about kids and their feelings and made them feel important. Like, if it wasn't like, oh, you a kid, you need to stay in the kid place. It was just like, how you feeling today? Or it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel those feelings. And it would be like, I know, Mr. Rogers. I am feeling sad today.
I like Mr. Rogers now because I see like what he was teaching, what he was thinking. But as a kid, I was like, he kind of boring. But I think that that's so important that parents or even adults, period, like, you know, even if you don't have kids, like I don't have kids, you don't have kids, but we are around kids. You know, we have, you know, your god kids. We have niece and nephew. So you are still around kids, and sometimes you forget to be like, just stop and say, how are you feeling? Because kids have emotions too. They have feelings and they have roller coaster up and down. And, you know, they get mad. Like my little honey, little joker, my little niece, she gets mad. And I just be like, okay, well, that's fine. If you want to be mad, you could just stay right here and you can be mad. It's fine. She can get mad. I can get mad. She can get mad. It's fine, you know.
It's okay. Yeah, I think lots of times adults forget that. Because both of us working in the medical field, I'm sure we both see it. And sometimes parents forget that, you know, especially when you bring your kid to the doctor, they're scared. And it's okay to be scared. And sometimes you just have to get on their level and just be like, yo, it's okay to be scared. It's just going to take a few seconds. Even mommy's scared when she comes to the doctor. You know, just kind of level it down.
Let them know that you scared too. Not like, oh, I'm. Because parents do that all the time. Stop crying. But if you say, here's the needle to you, they be like, okay, wait, give me a second.
Right.
Give me a second. Okay, well, you wasn't doing that with little Riri, honey. You act like she just acting a fool.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I don't like that when they be like, act like a big boy or a big girl. I'm like,
but they're not. They're three.
Not. They're three. They're a little kid. Let them act like a little kid. They want to freak out. That's normal. You're coming at them with something sharp and terrifying, or something they never.
Or you're holding them down. You know, you holding their head, holding their legs and stuff. You know, of course they're gonna be like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Nerve-wracking. Like, even if you were in the hospital and had to be put in restraints, it would scare an adult.
Yeah.
So I think oftentimes, I think adults really forget that they were a kid once upon a time, and they just don't understand that. They think that children
should act like adults.
Yeah.
On certain thing, and then when the kid act like adults, sometimes too much, then they be like,
oh, they grown.
You need to sit down. You grown. You need to act grown. Well, you keep telling them to act like this. Act grown. I like you a big boy. Act like this. And it's like, well, which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one do you want me to be?
Exactly.
I'll be what you want me to be.
So I think oftentimes they just simply forget, like Mr. Rogers saying. But at the same time, your child can teach you a lot of stuff. And then it's an opportunity for you to let out your inner child. So lots of opportunities and stuff that you didn't get. It's thundering, y'all.
Real bad.
So a lot of opportunities and stuff that you didn't get to do as a kid, like toys or whatever that you may have wanted, you can buy for your kid.
This is the one thing I do all the time with my little niece, because I get her every week, and she always want to go outside, and she wants my faucet, you know, the what is it called, faucet outside. She always want me to turn on so she could play in the water. My mama never let us play in the water, ever. We never got a chance to play in the water. My mama, I guess you could see my mama, other than taking a bath, my mama had a real water phobia. And so I just be like, yeah, let's go. And I always go outside and just let it run. And you know, because I never got a chance to do it. And she likes it. Like, she just be having the time of her little life. And I just go out there and she gets it. Because when I start playing with it, I get it and I say, like, I'm throwing it on her. And I'm not throwing it on her for real, honey. But in her little mind, I am. And so she tried to get it and try to throw it at me. I said, oh my God. And she just be dying laughing. So, yeah, you know, it creates experiences for kids.
Yes. And it be the little things that stick in their mind. Because I still remember things that my mom used to do for me because I was nervous or scared. Because she used to go to work early in the morning, like around 5 in the morning. So by the time I got up and got ready for school, she was gone already. So my dad, he would do my hair and get me ready and dress for school. Well, I think it was second grade, I was having a real issue with this teacher. This teacher was just really mean, going in on me. I think it's because of our faith. Because she was just really mean towards me specifically. And my parents knew that. They went and talked to her about it, and it still was an issue. So just to make me get through the school year, my mom would make sure to leave me little messages places. Like, my mom can draw really good. She's an artist. So she would make these little notes and draw a picture on it and put, like, either she loves me, or she'll put a song in there, or like the You Are My Sunshine song. Aww, and draw a picture in it. And I still got those things because they were so special to me.
Oh, it's so sweet.
And it's just all through second grade, she would leave me a little note because she wasn't there. And so she just wanted me to know that she cared about me and that she's thinking about me throughout the day. And so those little bitty things.
I'm literally about to cry, Ken. It's just the sweetest thing.
Don't cry.
That's sweet though. That's sweet. That I'm sure that got you through your, like, you know.
It did.
When the teacher, she's being a real person. She's peopling.
She's peopling real hard.
Real hard. My mama still, you know, she's hard at work. She still, you know, thinks I'm just like the best person.
Right. And
because really, when you're a kid like that, that's when your self-esteem is really starting to develop. And so if you have nobody when you have somebody that's always in your face all the time
with negativity,
you gonna start thinking I'm low down, I'm no good, I'm not smart, I'm dumb, I'm ugly.
It honestly starts at age 3. So they may not can remember much at age 3 and 4, but that's when children start developing, like, their feeling, understanding their core belief, and understanding just, you know, how they feel about things and how they feel like they should navigate life and those connections. So when, you know, people remember that they are children and show them love and affection, it really helps at those times. And it's like, that helped a lot. Like, that's why I got this bed. This is another thing my mommy gave me, and I still got it. But when my dog died, I had a dog named Max. He got out the fence, and I found him dead in the morning on the side of the road. And I called her hysterical at work. I was like, "Hey, Max, got out." I was freaking out. And when she came home from work, she had this bed for me. So I still got it. If y'all can't tell, I'm sentimental. So
and she keeps everything.
I don't keep everything. But it's like, if it's certain meaning or feeling to it, I will keep it. So I got my little bear, my inner child. Hug on my bed. letting it out. So yes, just stuff like that. It means a lot to little kids. It means all the way up into adulthood.
Because they can come back and be like, "Oh, you remember I used to come over your house and used to do this, or remember this and this." Yeah, kids remember it probably a lot more than you think they would. You like, "Oh, this is small and insignificant," but they do remember.
They remember a lot. Like, just think about me and you. Them summers we used to go hang out with brothers.
With the friends,
Yeah, with the friends. We used to hang out with them, and that those were some of the best summers.
Yeah.
Like, we would ride in that hot van with no AC, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
We had fun.
It was fun.
We had fun.
Yeah. I definitely would say let out your inner child is so important, because now you have, as an adult, you have the control to let your inner child know she or he is okay.
Yeah.
You got the reins to be like, yo, I know whatever happened in the past hurt you, or whatever happened in the past was hard to deal with.
But you're going to be okay.
But you're going to be okay, and I'm going to take care of you now.
Mm-hmm.
So take care of him or her and do the things you always wanted to do as a kid.
Just because you're an adult don't mean you can't. Because I was scared for a long time about trying to learn how to swim, but I got that courage and was able to do it. Mm-hmm. And I love it. Like, I absolutely love, like, I'm always like, ooh, I go to the pool. And she's like, it's too cold. I'm like, oh, it is.
Like March, as soon as it's a little warm, let's go swimming. It is 60 degrees outside. I don't think you want to get in the water.
I just be ready. I just be so excited because I know how to swim. I actually know, because for a long time I was like, ooh, I'm swimming, and just be like standing up going like this. You know, so now I'm actually like just going in.
Jumping in the deep end.
Honey, how's that?
How is that?
Honey. So yeah, that's the thing. Because you'll be surprised what you're missing. Don't think that because you didn't do it as a child that it's something bad or it's something wrong with it or you shouldn't do it.
Right.
You know,
like whoever said that when you're an adult you can't do fun stuff, I want to meet that person and be like, what's wrong with you? Because why? Because
even now, if you can stand up with your friends and watching TV and talking and laughing, it's still a fun thing to do.
It's still a fun thing. I don't care how old you are. A sleepover party with your homies,
it's still very fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care how old you are. Mm-hmm. It's a blast.
It's still very fun. So yeah, don't let your childhood die at 10.
It's plenty of older people too. This little keychain right here is Big Bird, right? I got this from this little old lady who I met at my job. She gave it to me because I was talking about Big Bird and super excited because I love Sesame Street, all these things. And she gave it to me because she loves Big Bird. She was talking about how she met the guy who did the Big Bird. Carol Spinney was his name. And how she just bawled like a baby, like I did.
Oh my God.
But she was just so excited because she was like, you have no idea how much Big Bird mean to me. And just how, the lessons you learn from Sesame Street and how he teach kindness and she was just crazy about Big Bird. And so I was just talking about stuff with her and she was like, I have never met someone who loved Big Bird as much as me. So she gave me this little keychain and she was like, I'm just so excited.
She probably has a whole room of Big Bird.
Yeah, she does. She told me about it. And she was just like, she just loved it. And she said she liked to meet people who just are okay with their fandom and expressing being a giant kid and stuff like that, because a lot of people feel like you can't.
That is wild that she cried over meeting Big Bird, because our friend over here, Candace, we went to see the Anthem of the Opera.
Listen, it was an experience.
And at the end of the show,
we got to meet
she cried like
I didn't cry that hard. Listen.
You did?
I did not cry that hard. I
you cried for like 30 minutes straight to the point where the guy was like, oh, it's okay.
No. Let me explain, because she's lying. Let me explain my side. So what it was after the show, we got to go behind the stage and meet the folks, meet the performers. Mm-hmm. And we met Christine, we met Raul, and then we got to meet the Phantom. Now, if you guys don't know me, Phantom of the Opera is one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite plays. And I have always wanted to experience a Broadway type of something. Never thought in my entire life I would get a chance to experience this. So I finally got a chance to experience it with my bestie here. So just the whole plethora, everything. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in this beautiful theater with my best friend, seeing one of my favorite shows, and I'm getting a chance to meet the Phantom. It just overwhelmed me.
And how long did you cry for?
I'll say 10 minutes.
Okay. Y'all, she cried when we was standing in line to meet the man. She cried. She cried as the people, not just him, the other people was coming out. The other actress was coming out. She cried when the man came out, to the point the man just said, "Oh, poor thing," and he hugged her. And then as we was walking back to the car and sat in the car, she sat and expressed her love for me and just said, "Sean, you're just my bestest friend, and I just love you so much, and I just thank you for coming." Y'all, how long that sound? Did it sound like get 10 minutes, or does it sound more like 45?
That was happened in a span of 10 minutes.
Thank you. Man, we still.
I was just really touched about the whole experience. Cause let me tell y'all, see, y'all missing some details that is very touching. This one went all out for this trip. She didn't have to, but she knew I was super excited, so she did. So she got this really nice hotel. She was like, "Ken, we gotta stay in this fancy hotel."
Nice.
So we went and stayed in this fancy hotel. We went and did all these things. We ate at these nice restaurants, all because of this one right here. And we didn't even have to do all of that. I was just excited just to go to the show. But Shonda was like, "No, we're gonna make this whole weekend an experience." And so that would touch me in itself, all the little extra. And I was just like, my friend really love me.
She all right sometimes. And so with that, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our episode of Love Lazy Sunday Conversation.
Come on. Let us know what your favorite thing to let out your inner child. Let out your inner child with what you wear, what you watch, what you hold, whatever. Comment down below. Let us know.
See y'all soon.
Bye. Bye.